I sent you one link to all of you. Please open this link and save it in your favorites. Okay, I'll share this link directly now in my system, but this is a very helpful link and you can look for it in future. You can hear me? You can see this link now. Okay. See, this is the SAP Activate methodology for SAP Business Suite or on-premise. Let me go to the home first, and I'll show you what are the different contents available here. So you can see this solution-specific content, SAP Solution Manager content, and SAP HANA technology platform. So let me go to solution-specific. What is provided here? So SAP has provided the roadmap for transition to SAP S4HANA. They provided the they provided the methodology for transition to SAP BW for HANA, and they provided, okay, these are the only two solutions I think provided here. If I go back again, if I, let's say, go for solution manager, so they provided the content for landscape transformation. Okay, this is not for our kind of project, this is from the technical point of view, what is required for landscape transformation. Test data migration server, which is again a technical tool. Application lifecycle management, these are all the components of solution manager. Custom code management, okay, these are all the contents of your solution manager. But if I go from the functional point of view, so let me go to solution specific, and this is something which is relevant to us. Transition to SAP S4HANA. I think even the link I sent you, don't go with that link. I think this is the right link. Let me open this and show you. Yeah, this is the right link. So instead of that link, I'll share another link with you. You can go to this and see, or maybe you can follow the same thing what I have done. Go to that link, go to homepage, and then go for the solution and open this transition to SAP S4HANA. So this is nothing but the complete understanding of SAP Activate. They provided each and everything, each of the task within the Activate methodology, each of the task, as I told you, but it is completely descriptive. So let me show you one scenario. So this is transition to SAP scenario. You are now at entrance of roadmap transition to scenario. So what it is saying is transition to SAP S4HANA documents SAP's recommended approach on how to implement SAP S4HANA on-premise. The structure of the roadmap represents all activities of implementation scenario. So as I told you, all these three things: system conversion, new implementation, and landscape transformation, and need to be tailored to the customer specific case as part of early project planning activities. You can get editable version of this picture by, okay, this is only for picture, but if you come down, these are the different phases, as you can see. So discover, prepare, explore, realize, deploy, and then run. What are the work streams? Work streams means areas of business. Let's say, for example, project management is work stream. So this project management work stream will be helpful for the project management to plan his activities. Similarly, application design and configuration, this will be helpful for the functional consultant. System and data migration can be useful from the data migration point of view. Custom code extension, how to incorporate or how to adopt the custom codes of current ECC to SAP S4, you will get this information here. Okay, analytics, which will be useful for BI kind of thing. How are you going to perform the testing and all? So these are all the work streams. Now it is up to you whether you want to follow this approach or this approach. Let's say, for example, you are sure I just want to concentrate on custom code, you will go here. But if you are in the project and you are looking for all the activities which should be part of explore and realize phase, then you will go here. So all these things will also replicate in any part of this project lifecycle. So just for example, let's say start with the discover. As I told you, what is discover? Discover is learning about SAP S4. So it may be you as a consultant who is trying to learn, or it may be the customer who is trying to understand what is new in SAP S4HANA, which is suitable for my business requirements. Okay, so let's go for discover. So in the discover phase, customer become familiar with the benefits of SAP HANA and SAP S4HANA, and obviously the benefits that it can bring to customer business. So not all the benefits will be relevant to each and every customer. Okay, every customer is different. Every customer is using different components of SAP. So what is SAP S4HANA offering to the particular customer? That is something which is of interest to each and every customer. So what is SAP recommending? In first step, customer should create an overall company strategy on their digital transformation. This includes SAP S4HANA as a digital core, but looks from the broader perspective. Key topics like Internet of Things, big data, omni-channel, and business network can be included into the strategy as well. So before customer decide on implementation of SAP S4, they need to know where exactly what components of SAP S4HANA will be helpful for him. So he should start with the core system, as I told you, but also look into the other areas which can be useful for his business. When it comes to business network, it means nothing but your Ariba. When you talk about omni-channel, this is nothing but your Hybris. So they need to think about all these things, like what exactly is suitable for them. In the next step, customer should become familiar with the value of SAP S4HANA in general, like the new user interface based on Fiori, the agile customer innovations using SAP Cloud platform. How he will be becoming familiar? A trial system in the cloud could support this. So if a customer is interested in knowing more about SAP S4HANA, he can request SAP for the cloud trial version, which he can look and decide whether it is relevant to him or not. And finally, in the third step, the decision on the implementation scenario can be taken. So here you are just thinking whether I should go for SAP S4HANA or not. Finally, here you take a decision whether yes, S4HANA is relevant for me and I want to go for SAP S4 plus the roadmap approach, like I'm going to follow the new implementation, or I'm going to do for the system conversion or the landscape transformation. So that is something which you need to discover in the discover phase as a customer and also as a consultant. Okay, and what are the supported documents, like where you can find all this information? So SAP has provided the accelerators. So these are some of the documentations which can help you in understanding SAP S4HANA better for the customer. Okay, so with S4HANA feature scope description, customer will get some overview of what is new in SAP 1610, business scenario recommended report, extensibility of SAP S4HANA, helpful links. You will find a lot of links here. Community, if you want to ask any questions, and cookbook. Cookbook is a place where you can find some of the documentations like simplification list, custom code, conversion guides, whatever we already discussed. So you also can, whenever you are exploring this, when I sent you the link already, just try to go through all this information, and whatever is useful for you, you just save it in your favorites so that you can easily refer next time. Once the discover phase is done, they will go for the prepare phase. In the prepare phase, as I told you, the project setup, finally making sure that system is ready. All these things needs to be done in prepare phase. So in each of the phase, you will get what is the main purpose of this phase, what are the deliverables that you will be getting out of this phase, and what accelerators SAP has provided to make this phase faster. So for example, what is prepare phase? So once the business case has been approved, the project is initiated in the prepare phase. Okay, what are the deliverables? All these are the deliverables. So you get an enablement chart. If you want to know what is enabled chart, click here, you will get information. You need to have the prototypes, system prototypes, which will be used to demonstrate. You need to have a transition planning. You need to have a transition preparation, custom code. You need to decide on custom code cleanup and improve. What is custom code cleanup and improve? Why you are doing in the prepare phase? So prepare phase is when you are still deciding on how exactly you are going to go in SAP S4. So this is the right place where you can take a decision that, okay, out of my 100 custom codes, 50 are not relevant to me at all. So why should I complicate a project? Let's clean up the custom code and decide that, okay, I'm not worried about this 50 custom codes. Okay, so that is called as custom code cleanup and improve. Project delivery, platform setup, initialization, planning, team enablement, organizational change management. So all these are the work streams, as I told you, which you can carry out in the prepare phase. Now it is totally based on the project to project. Okay, some of the things can be skipped, some of the skip things are required in each and every project. Then you enter into the explore. So what is the purpose of explore phase? In the explore phase, one of the prepare phase has been finalized. The detailed planning of the functional and technical work streams, the explore phase will be kicked off. The activities of the explore phase are this. What are these? Let's see here. Or maybe you can directly go to deliverables. What are you expecting out of the explore phase? So not only deliverables, but what are the activities that you are going to do? So you are going to activate the solution. You are going to perform the fit gap design document. Introduction, sorry, this is not a document. So within the fit gap, you start with the introduction, you finalize the system setup, you perform the solution validation with the end users, you identified the gaps. You need to prioritize these gaps, right? You cannot work on all these gaps at once. So let's say there are 3 gaps identified, which is more important, which has to be solved earlier, right? So prioritization, validation, again delta design, design review, verify and accept. This is optional. Central finance is one of the landscape transformations. So as I told you, not necessarily all steps needs to be followed. It is totally based on case to case. Data volume planning, this is again important. So let's say today in your database, you have many terabytes of data and you are holding 10 years of data in your current system. Let's say you are planning to migrate to using the conversion approach. Do you want all this 10 years of data in the new system? That is the question mark, right? Normally you should do the archiving and do the perform the data conversion only for the data which is required in day-to-day activities. So that is something which you need to plan here. Not only that, whenever you are going with SAP HANA, the licensing strategy is totally based on how much RAM you are going to incorporate. So based upon your current database size, SAP will recommend how much HANA or how much RAM will be required for you. And based on that RAM sizing, licensing cost will increase, right? So that is also part of this data volume planning. Custom code impact analysis. So in the explore phase also, you need to consider what are the different custom codes, which customer is already using, what will be the impact. You need to decide like where the modification is required and which can be skipped. All these things needs to be discussed during the explore phase itself. Okay, so just go through this. Realize also it is realize is actually when you start doing the configuration and performing the developments, and finally you deploy and you run. So it will tell you all the steps that you need to take with description. When you see the realize, deploy and run, you'll not find much of changes compared to the asset methodology, but most of the changes you'll find in this explore phase, because the way in which you are conducting this business blueprinting, this is different compared to asset. Okay, so just go through this, activate content roadmap viewer and come up with your questions. Any questions till now?
Garu, can you share the second link which you're going to share, the right one which you are showing?
Okay.
Right?
Okay, just 1 minute. Okay, I shared the link now. Okay, so this is solution specific. Here you need to click on first solution, that is transition to SAP S4HANA. Okay, any other questions?
So Gaurav, for the S4HANA, Gaurav, for this SAP Active, is it like only it's only a process, right? But does it have any tools also to overall, because it's whether it is being coming with the solution manager or how this can be? It is only a process wise to be implemented based on the books which they mention it, or do they have a tools to also?
Yes, solution manager is obviously a tool which will help you throughout the project lifecycle. So SAP Activate, whatever we are discussing, this content is already available with the solution manager. So when you talk about solution manager 7.2, it is completely integrated with your SAP Activate methodology.
Okay. But it's a mandatory, even the solution manager also is a mandatory, right? While we implement it, or
no, it is not mandatory. It is same as your ECC. Even in ECC also, SAP recommends to use the based methodology, but what you are actually using, it is something, it is up to you, right? Many customers don't use solution manager, so that is perfectly fine. So here also it is a choice.
But if they don't use the solution manager, then how do they still they can go with the SAP Active process?
Yes, see, Activate is a methodology which is recommended by SAP. So as I told you, if you are using solution manager, a lot of processes can be automated. Okay, let's say for example, okay, let me just complete this. This is also part of SAP Activate. So I'll talk about this and then I'll give the complete overview. So what I'm showing you now is the second part of SAP Activate SAP Activate. We understood the methodology till now. We need to understand other two things. One is guided configuration and second is best practices. So let me just log in here. I'm just showing you one example of guided configuration. So SAP is already developing some kind of Fiori apps from where you can do the configuration. So you are all knowing that the account determination, like from the MMFI point of view, we go for OBYC. From sales point of view, we go via VKOA. Now that is available as a guided configuration. So using SAP Fiori, you can perform the account determination settings. Okay, I'm just trying to show you that particular example as a guided configuration. So in future, you can expect a lot of Fiori apps from where you can do the configuration. Okay, so this app is nothing but account determination. If I click on this app, see, it is asking me for area. So earlier I was remembering, I need to remember multiple transaction codes. OBYC, VKOA, these are only two, but there are a lot of others also because this is complete FI. So for taxes, I need to remember, I think OB90. For FI, there are multiple different for foreign exchange differences, for parallel currency. There were a lot of different account determinations available in ECC. Now, in one single screen, you can see multiple options. So you can, from one single screen, you can do the configuration for account determination of materials management, which will take you to OBYC, sales and distribution, which will take you to VKOA. When you click on financial accounting, it will open again multiple type of account determinations, which are available in SAP with different transactions today. Okay, that is the reason they are saying guided configuration. Now you don't need to remember all these things. It is guided. You just come to one screen, you specify what you want to do. So let's go for materials management. I want to configure materials management. I'll go to step 2. Now in step 2, I need to specify which transaction key and which chart of account. So let's say I want to go for BSX, right, which is for my inventory stock. So I selected inventory posting and chart of account is nothing but INT. Okay, step 3. So it is showing me what is already in place. If I want to change, I can change it here. Okay, if I want to add a new entry, if I want to edit the rules. So whatever I was able to do in OBYC, now it is simplified. I can do it from one single transaction for MM also, SD also, and FI also. This is just an example of guided configuration. So going forward, you can expect a lot of such apps available from the configuration point of view. I think releasing strategy is also available. Let me just see. I've seen recently that releasing strategy is also available as a part of SPS1. I'm not sure about this. Yeah, it is there, I think. Settings for releasing strategy. Yes, as of now, nothing is created. So you can create a releasing group, you can create a release code. So as on SPRO, you have different transactions for this, right? So same way you can follow. This is something called as guided configuration. Okay. Now coming to the third thing, which is what is best practices. Okay, you already know what are the best practices, but I'm just trying to show you one link. I'm not sure whether that will get opened because many times that link is not opening. Let me try. If I'm able to open, I'll show you. Otherwise, I'll view the background. You also try on your PC if this is working. I sent you another link, rapid.sap.com. It takes a lot of time to open. Oh, it is open at mine. Okay, let me share. Yes, can you see my screen now? Hello, can you see? Okay. So let's go for, this is nothing but SAP Best Practices Explorer. And you can see now whatever SAP sites are, they have also changed their look and feel to SAP Fiori. Even the last thing that we seen, activate methodology, that was also like this. So this is all SAP Fiori now. Even if you go for any SAP note, if you want to see any SAP note, there also you'll find the new SAP Fiori screens. Okay, so SAP S4HANA, there are 26 packages. From on-premise point of view, there are 8. Okay, so these are the best practices available. So this is SAP best practice for SAP S4HANA on-premise, which is as a functional consultant, this is applicable to us. SAP best practice for analytics, this is for BI consultants. SAP best practice for user experience, which is for Fiori. SAP extended warehouse management integration with SAP S4HANA rapid deployment solution. This is for EWM. This is for extended financial planning. You can see there are different best practice contents available. Depending upon the industry, depending upon what you want to activate, you will be activating part of this best practices. And obviously, for most of us, this will be the starting point. Okay, so SAP base business practices for the SAP S4HANA. Now, when you say base business practices means what? It consists of lot of pre-configured scenarios. Pre-configured scenarios in which areas? In all core areas, like in finance, in sales and distribution, in procurement. It consists of lot of set business processes, defined business processes. So that you can see here. These are the list of pre-configured scenarios which are provided by SAP. So from finance point of view, they have a lot of processes from sales, from sourcing and procurement. Let's go for sales. So within sales also you can see they provided the credit memo processing, customer return, debit memo processing, free good processing, free of charge. Okay, let me just try to open anyone. Let's say sales from stock. If I open sales from stock, they provided the process model. What is process model? So it is talking about the standard practice, how this process works. And also it has provided you the documents also. So if you want to know the credit management best practice content, it is available in BD6. Sales quotation, it is available in BDG. Okay, so what is it? Customers order material. Customer has ordered the material. First of all, credit management will check whether the credit is available or not. Then it will check if the quotation is relevant or not. Then finally the sales order will be created. Credit management, if it is blocked for credit management, the unblock will be done here. It will be released for delivery. Then it will go to create delivery, execute packing, execute batches if activated, adding freight cost, post good issue, create billing document, perform the period end activities. So this is a complete end-to-end process. Okay, this is a standard based practice process. Now let's say customer is saying, okay, before I go for create delivery, I want to add a new step here. Okay, so this is what you can use during your demos. You can show them the systems and you can show also this process models. Okay, and if there are some changes, SAP Solution Manager, if you are using SAP Solution Manager, you don't need any VGOs to create this process models. Using SAP Solution Manager, you can directly edit this. You can add a new thing according to the business requirements. Okay, and not only this process models, if you are using say Solution Manager, SAP also provides PDF documents for each and every process. Okay, now all these things were earlier available for free. Here, apart from process model, the process documentation was also available, but now they are removed and this is only available in the Solution Manager, and it is also available in the Learning Hub, I think. So if you have the access of company's ID from Learning Hub point of view, that process documents also can be downloaded. Okay, but as of now, it is only available if you are using Solution Manager. So for end user also, you don't need to worry about creating the test cases. You don't need to worry about creating the user manuals because they are already provided by SAP under the base practice content. Only if there is any change in the business practice, then only you need to make those changes into the test cases and also into the process models and documents. Otherwise, you can use this process models as it is. Now, in case of cloud, as I told you, in case of cloud, there are not much of changes expected. Mostly all the customers will be following best practices. So for them, this is very helpful. You can directly use it without making any modifications. So user manuals are ready, test scripts are ready. It will definitely reduce lot of timeline in the project, and you will be able to realize you will be able to complete the project in a very short duration. Okay, so this is best practices. So SAP Activate consists of the best practices documents, best practices activations, which can be activated via Solution Manager. It provides you the methodology with complete details. I shown you the roadmap viewer, which is why the methodology is provided and why it is so detailed, so that if you follow it, let's say you are in a plant stage today and you want to know what are the activities that I'll be carrying out in the implementation project. So go through this methodology. It will tell you, okay, how much time you can expect to for each and every activity, and it will make sure that you don't miss any of the important activity. Okay, so the methodology is useful from that point of view. And finally, guided configuration, which is in the development stage today, but more and more configurations can be done in an easier way from SPR. That is the whole purpose. Okay, any questions? Yeah, I think Sandeep was asking the question. Yeah, the question was, if I'm not using SAP, let's say solution manager, then do I need to follow this? See, even if you are not using SAP solution manager, you can download this content. Okay, at least the process model may not be the documentation, but at least the process model, which you can refer to carry out your project. Instead of doing all these things again, you can directly refer this content and you can carry out your activities. So if you are using solution manager, it is integrated. So most of the processes can be automated. Okay, same scenarios you can use, everything content you can use, but if you're not using solution manager, it will be manual usage of these components. But if you are using solution manager, they are already integrated in your system. A lot of your effort will be reduced. But you need to follow. Yes.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I was actually trying to find the diagram you showed us just now on the SD process. Wasn't able to see that. Can you show us the link again from the rapid
Okay, so, okay, let me just go back to this link. Okay, so this is where you are, right?
I can't. I'm still seeing the blank screen.
Oh, sorry. Just 1 minute. Yes, can you see now?
Yes.
Okay, so from here, the best practice content you want for SAP S4HANA. So you click here, and then you will come here in S4HANA. There are different options for cloud, for integration, for migration, for industries. So I'll click on on-premise. In on-premise, again, there are different options. So the normal core system, for analytics, for user experience, for EWM. So I'm selecting this core business process. And within this, there are different processes. Okay, so if you come down, you can see finance, sales, sourcing and procurement, supply chain, everything is included here. Within this, if I click on sales, it will show me the list of the processes which are available in the best practices. So here, any link, like any process which you want to define. Let's say, for example, you are conducting the workshop today for sale from stock. So you'll open this, you'll show them this is how exactly the base practice works, and you identify if there are any gaps. Okay, and here in the details, you can see this process model.
Oh, okay, it's the process model. Thank you. Yeah, I think that's where I missed, because after you click on the process model, we'll see the diagram, right?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so just go through this. This is something which is descriptive, and it will be more helpful when you are actually working on the project. So whenever you get a chance to work on a project, just try to follow as it is possible, because it may not be, as I told you, the methodologies are definitely will improve the way in which the project can be carried out, but at the same time, not all the activities may be relevant for us. Like in SAP. In SAP also, we were knowing a lot of things, but how many of them we were using, it was based on the project to project. Okay, any questions before we start a new topic? I'm just left with 1 or 2 small topics. Maybe if I'm able to complete today, we'll complete today, and then I'll give you around 2 weeks of time to go through all the videos, all the documentations, and come up with your questions.
Hey, Gaurav, this is Saji. I have a question. What is the SAP, the HANA sidecar scenario? My project is doing
Yes,
a
yes, SAP
proof of
HANA.
concept.
Yeah, sorry, sorry. Sorry, the SAP HANA sidecar is something which is, from the technical point of view, you are going to use SAP ECC on some other database. Okay, so let's say today, if you are using ECC on Oracle, you will continue to do your transactions in SAP ECC on Oracle. And in the real time, it is like a landscape transformation. The data will move from your Oracle server to HANA server, where you can perform a lot of analytics in HANA. That is a sidecar, which means you are not replacing your database currently. You are keeping the HANA database as a side, as a parallel to your existing database. But that is more of technical.
Now, is it for the BI solution, or it's for ECC also?
It can be for both. So if you are only using SAP, if you remember the second session we discussed, SAP first came up with HANA database, and the first product they came up with was SAP BW on HANA. And finally, they came on SAP ECC on HANA database, right? So
right.
Both things are possible. It can be that you are using SAP ECC on, let's say, Oracle database, and you have BW on HANA. So whatever data you are inputting in ECC, it is going to BW system, which is on HANA, and you are performing the reports on BW on HANA system. That is also possible.
Okay.
It all depends upon. Do you have much more idea about what exactly they are doing? So maybe I can tell you whether it is BW or ECC.
Yeah, I'm not involved in that. They are doing a proof of concept. So I will find out next week. I will find out more about it, and then I'll share that. Thank you. So Gaurav, are we finishing the class today with all the topics, and then we'll have one more after 2 weeks?
Sorry. I was muted. I was not knowing that. I'm still here. I was speaking, but I never realized that I'm muted. Okay. Are you able to hear? Are you able to hear me now?
Yes, I could.
Okay. Sorry for that. So I don't know where I. So Saji, I answered your that question, right? After that,
yes, yeah.
I think.
Yes.
Oh, sorry. Okay. So I was talking about rebate processing. Okay, what is rebate processing is, any idea? Anybody from SD here who knows what is rebate processing? Just type yes or no on the chat screen.
Yeah. So the rebates are basically which is accumulated, the earnings out of whatever their transactions that would be accumulated, and a certain period of time, they'll be paid back to the customers.
Right. Yes. So what Sandeep said is, it is like you are giving the subsequent discounts to your customers. So let's say your customer has said you that I'm going to purchase 1,000 quantity of a particular material in this complete year, and you uh, according to that, can you provide me the rate? So normally when you buy in lesser quantities, the rate is higher. But if you commit to the supplier that I'm going to purchase this much number of quantity, then he can tell you, okay, if that is the case, every time when you purchase, you need to pay the entire amount. But at the end of the month, based upon our contract, I'll provide you the credit note of the total quantity. So let's say you are purchasing one material in 100 USD, okay, and you already entered into the contract with the supplier that at the end of the year, he will pay you 10 USD for each and every material. So let's say 10% you will be getting back. That is a rebate. So you are not getting instantly. You are not. It is not like customer is billing you. Sorry, supplier is billing you 100 USD and you are paying 90 USD as of now. But you will continue to pay 100 USD, and at the end of the year, that 10 USD into whatever number of materials you purchased, that will be available to you as a credit note. Right. So that is called as a rebate processing.
That is Gaurav, that is the purchasing rebates, right? Like purchasing side rebates.
It can be purchasing or it can be sales. So
Sales.
I'm concentrating.
So sales based on the company. Sales rebates is for the customers, our customer, right? It's a company point of view.
Yes. So from SD point of view, when I'm talking about rebate processing, let's talk about the SD point of view. So we have our customers, and we are billing them every now and then, and finally at the end of the year or at the end of the month, whatever is the contract period, we need to provide them the credit note that okay, based on your quantity that you purchased in a year, we are providing this much of subsequent discount. Okay. Which is called the rebate. So this process is very much available in SD today, in sales and distribution. But only problem is every time whenever you create a sales document, anytime whenever you do the billing document, at that time, the tables which are related to rebate processing, they need to be refreshed completely. Okay, these are the technical terms. What does it mean, completely refreshed and all? But ultimately, what it means is it takes a lot of time and it takes a lot of system resources in the background. If you are using rebate processing, tables, one of the very important table is VBOX, which is a very complicated table. It gets refreshed each time when you create a billing document. Now that is something which is affecting the performance of the system. And as you know, with SAP S4HANA, SAP is trying to improvise the performance by removing this kind of tables which are unnecessarily creating the slowness in the system. Okay, so that is the reason SAP has now gone away with the traditional rebate processing, the way in which you were doing the rebate processing till now. That is no more available. Okay, you cannot use the normal rebate processing in SAP S4HANA, not in 1610 and not in 1511 also. Okay, if you want to use rebates, if you want the rebate processing to be done, it has to be done via the settlement management. Now, what is settlement management? Settlement management is another component which is also not new. Some of the customers were already using settlement management from I'm also not sure which of the scenarios were used in settlement management, but now that rebate processing has become part of settlement management. Okay, so what and how exactly we need to do the contract processing? How are we going to concentrate, or how are we going to create the rebate contracts, and how are we going to settle? That is a question mark. So first of all, how is the process? The process is, first you need to create a rebate contract. What do you mean by rebate contract? This means that you agreed with your customer that based on his history, we are going to provide 10% discount on each and every purchase. So you will specify in the contract that if this is a customer for this particular material, I'm going to provide him 10%. Every time the billing is done, whatever number of billings are accumulated, whatever is the quantity accumulated into whatever amount you billed into 10%, that will be, when you settle the contract, that will be credited to the customer account. Okay, so how to do that? So now instead of going to sales and distribution rebate processing, which is not available, you need to go to something called as, in the logistics itself, I think we'll find it under the settlement management. This one, settlement management.
Gaurav, sorry for the interruption. Are you sharing something? I cannot see any slide.
Yeah,
can you see now?
No.
Okay, now we can sense that. Okay, thank you.
Okay. So under the logistics, there is something called as settlement management. Okay, I'm not saying this was not available. This was available in ECC also, but it was used for some other purpose, material-based settlement or settlement documents. But now we are only using part of it. When we talk about settlement management from rebate processing point of view, this is the only thing that we will use, condition contract management. Okay, when I open this condition contract management, there is something called as master data. This transaction, WCOCO. This is a transaction which, if I double click here, this is a transaction which will be used for creating the condition contract. Let me show you first if I already have something. Okay, let's say this 101. Okay, so let's say this is my condition contract. You can see this is from the time period from 1st of Jan to 9th of August. Okay, this is the type of contract that you need to select whenever you want to create a rebate processing contract. You need to select this SBBI. This is the only contract type provided by SAP for this purpose. Okay, this will automatically, when you select this contract type, I think this information will come automatically. Payment term you need to enter, and in the conditions you need to specify this condition type, REBT, which is rebate, calculation type percentage, and valid from and valid to, and the condition rate. Okay, let me do this. I was just showing you, but let's try to create one condition contract. So VCOCO, new. What is the condition contract? SBBI, as I told you. This one. Okay, so from, let's say I'm taking the same customer, but this time I'll take from 10th of August 2017 to today's date is 19th, or maybe I'll take 20th August. Okay, payment terms, I'm keeping it as 0001, which means immediately needs to be paid. I think customer will come here somewhere. Just a minute. Yeah, here. So I'll go to sales organization. Which one I was using here? I'll use same because Can you see the sales organization somewhere here? Okay, sales organization is SL13, S4, and S4. Purchasing, I don't need to go. Administration, fine. Header text not required. Status is fine. This is also not required. Business volume, I think this one is something I'll enter. So material and customer. So which material and which customer I need to provide. No, this is not required. Just 1 minute. This is coming automatically. So customer I'll provide here. Let's take a same customer. Who is this? 7. Okay, and material. Sorry, this has become very slow.